Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namaha Panini Katyayana Patanjalibhyo Shabda Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Gurubhyo Gurubhyaha Namaskaraha, and welcome to the 39th class of Advaita Academy. We are following the Teach Yourself Sanskrit series book, and we have come far away from the beginning classes. We are entering into the several important aspects of Sanskrit grammar, learning gerunds, learning indeclinable participles, kridanta pratyayas, and tumun pratyaya is also going to come now. Right now, we are in the previous class we studied a story through which we recalled how to convert a present tense verb into future tense verb, and we were also went through the gerund form. What we said, kridanta pratyaya tvanta was introduced in the previous class. We have done some sentences and we have to do many more sentences of tvanta. Tavatu we studied earlier, if you remember. Tavatu, past active participle. Agachat, where we converted the past tense lang lakara verbs into participle verbal forms, like agachat went, gatavan has gone. So we have studied and practiced at great length how the simple past tense lang can be converted into tavatu pratyanta. And now, having done that, we are now to study in the book the tvanta rupani. Tvanta is another participle verb which is, as I told you in the previous class, equivalent to the gerund, what we call gerund in English, like balakaha patati vidyalayam gacchati patati cha patati. So clubbing these two sentences, we say balakaha vidyalayam gatva patati. Two sentences can be clubbed into one sentence by means of this participle called tvanta. Now more are there. It's very easy on this page 278, and abhyasa is 156. Now one is done for you. You do the remaining. That is Sita modakam khadati sa jalam pibati. There are two sentences here. Sita modakam khadati sa jalam pibati. Modakam is some sweet meat. Sita eats sweet and she drinks water. Jalam sa jalam pibati. She drinks water. So clubbing these two by one participle verb, namely the tvanta, it will become Sita modakam khaditva. So khadati changes to khaditva. Remember, everywhere the sound tva will come there. Tva. The participle as it is called tvanta. Ka is gone, goes off, and only tva remains. Out of this tvanta, ka is elided, or it is deleted, and tva is taken in the verb. So khada is the verb, you know by now. Khadati is the verbal form, present tense, and to this khada, tva is added, and with some addition it becomes khaditva. After having eaten, after eating, Sita modakam khaditva. Sita, having eaten the sweet, drinks milk. Jalam pibati. Earlier two sentences now made into one sentence. Sita modakam khadati sa jalam pibati. So we don't have to separate two sentences. Now khadati will be replaced by khaditva. Having eaten, after eating. Sita modakam khaditva jalam pibati. So more sentences are following here. Janani snati pakam karoti. Snati is a verb we have already come across, bathes. Mother bathes and does the cooking. Pakam karoti. After taking the bath, mother cooks or does the cooking. Janani snatva. So we have here second verb. It is given in the box there below. Those who are watching this lesson can see on the monitors. Snatva. Janani snatva pakam karoti will be sufficient. Mother, after bathing, cooks the food or whatever cooking is there. So third one, Janakaha karyalayam gacchati karyam karoti. Janakaha karyalayam gacchati karyam karoti. Now gacchati has to be replaced by the tvanta, which is given here in the box. Gatva. Gacchati becomes gatva. Janakaha karyalayam gatva karyam karoti. Father does his job after going to the office. So if you literally translate this sentence, having gone to the office, father having gone to the office does his work. Or otherwise you can say, after going to the office, father works. So Janakaha karyalayam gatva karyam karoti. And the fourth one, Chhatraha patham patati kridati. Nidrati. Patati nidrati. So boy studies lesson and goes to sleep. Chhatraha patham patitva, having studied, after studying the lesson, after reading the lesson, nidrati, nidram gacchati, shayanam karoti. So he goes to sleep. So this patati will be replaced by the tvanta patitva. So you can see the sound tva comes in the verb. Then next one, sishuhu phalam khadati. And then kridati. Sishuhu phalam khaditva kridati. A child after eating the fruit plays. A child plays after eating a fruit. Having eaten a fruit, a child plays. So you can say it in these two ways. A child plays after eating the fruit. It simply means sishuhu phalam khaditva kridati. Next. Tvam patram likhasi preshayasi. Tvam patram likhasi preshayasi. Tvam patram likhitva preshayasi. You will send a letter after writing it. Tvam patram likhitva preshayasi. You are sending a letter otherwise after writing it. Having written a letter, you are sending it. That is, preshayasi means sending. Next. Bhavati devam namati pradakshinam karoti. Bhavati devam namati pradakshinam karoti. Bhavati devam natva. So this changes to natva. Devam natva. You having saluted God, pradakshinam karoti. Pradakshina is a kind of what we call in English circumambulation. It is called circumambulation. Going around the deity is a practice in India. We go not only around the deity but also around our gurus also, around masters, spiritual masters. We go around them, and it is believed that the number of circumambulations we take, as many we take, so many sins get cleaned. We wash off sins by going around a deity and going around a guru also. So, yani kani cha papani janmantara krutani cha. There is a poem to this effect. Whatever sins we accrued, we have inherited through the previous births. Janmantara krutani. Tani vinashyanti. All those get perished, get nullified. Pradakshina pade. In every circumambulation, in every round we take around a deity, these sins are supposed to be getting nullified. So that is the purpose of. So here the sentence is Bhavati Devam Namati. You salute. Bhavati Devam Natva. Having saluted the God, take a circumambulation. You do the circling encircling the deity. Eighth one, Sa Gitam Shrunoti Nrutyati. So Sa, you know by now, she listens to music and dances. That is the meaning. Sa Gitam Shrutva. Shrutva, having listened to the music, Nrutyati, she dances. She dances after listening to the music. So Nrutva comes here, Shrutva comes here after Shrunoti, and Nrutyati stands same. Ninth one.
Adhyapakaha
Patayati Prasnam Pruchhati. Adhyapakaha Patam Patayati. A teacher teaches a lesson and questions and puts a question. Adhyapakaha Patam Patayitva. After teaching a lesson, having taught a lesson, a teacher questions the student. Prasnam Pruchhati, asks a question. So Patayati changes to Patayitva, having taught. Patati becomes Patitva. There is a difference between Patati becoming Patitva. Patayati means teaches. Patayitva, having taught. Patati studies. Patitva after studying, etc. 10th and the last one here in this page. Chhatraha Vakyam Vadati Artham Janati. Chhatraha Vakyam Patati. A student reads a sentence and understands the meaning. This is the meaning part of the sentence. A student reads a sentence and understands the meaning. Artham Janati. Vadati. Vakyam Vadati. Reads. Yes. So Chhatraha Vakyam Uditva. Having uttered, having read out a sentence. Chhatraha Vakyam Uditva Artham Janati. That part, the second part remains the same. So this way you will be coming across many verbs turned into this Tvanta gerund form, and on the page 279 we have more practice. Hasati, Hasitva. Now just these are there for reading. You may read. Hasati becomes Hasitva after laughing. Kridati plays Kriditva. Bhramati Brahmitva. Japati Japitva. Likati Likitva. Khadati Khaditva. Now what is given in the bracket there is the primary root, that is. And what is we are reading present tense. And what is given to the right side is the Tvanta Pratyaya, the participle. So Khanati, which is derived on the basis of the bracketed verb khana. Khana to dig. Khadati, you know. Khanati digs. Khanitva, having dug after digging. Krandati, which is derived from the root verb kranda to cry. It is very close to English also. Kranda to cry. Krandati kranditva. Dhavati to run. Dhavitva. Ninda to blame, censure somebody. Nindati ninditva. Nrutyati nrit is the base. Nartitva. Nrutyati nartitva. Next patati patitva. Patati patitva. And milati militva. So you can see it is not very difficult. So everywhere you are getting the sound tva tva tva, and the participle, the pratyaya is called tvanta pratyaya. Tvanta. So
we have one more table on the
yeah, one more table. We are going to that now. Page is not over. Dharati, which is derived from the Mula Dhatu, Dhru, Dhrutva. Next, Karoti from Kru, Krutva. Smarati, Smrutva, Smrudhatu. Harati, Hrutva. Srunoti, Srutva. Now here they are one letter, one syllable, one letter verbs they are. Dhru, Shru. So the final verb is very simple. Srutva, Dhrutva, Smrutva, etc. Then Janati comes from Gna, Gnatva, after knowing. Snati, bathing. Sna is to do snana. Snatva, after bathing. Krinati, which means we have already come. Kri, to buy. Krinati. Chhatraha pustakam krinati. Student buys the book. So Kritva, after buying, after having bought. Nayati becomes neetva, nayati to take. Bhu bhavati to become, bhutva having become after becoming. Piba, pa comes from the, pibati comes from the root verb pa to drink, pa pane. Pibati pitva. Then tishtati is derived from the base verb stha root. So sthitva, it becomes sthitva. Daha is to burn, dahati is the present tense form. Dagdhva, now here there is a little change here. Sandhi rules apply here. It is not anything. Dagdhva, dagdhva. And gacchati, which we have done many times, gum root, gacchati gatva. Then namati becomes natva. Just now we studied. Tyaja becomes tyajati in the present tense, tyaktva. Tyaktva means after leaving, like the famous sloka of Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Tyaktva deham punarjanmaneti mameti so Arjuna. Tyaktva means leaving, after leaving. Pachati comes from the root pacha, paktva. And pashyati is a verb which is coming from the root drush, društva. Pruchati, asking, pracha to ask, and it comes pruštva. So here a little change you find. Tva is changed to tva. Karshati becomes krush, kruštva. Ichchati, coming from the root verb ish, it becomes ištva. Ichchati means likes. Ištva having liked. Karshati having pulled. Pruchati having asked. Pashyati društva means having seen. So this is how the tvanta pratyayas are derived. Just watch them closely and you will get it. Next to page 280 and Abhyasa 157. We still go with the same practice. And there are sentences, 20 sentences on this page. So Purvam, Paschat, 2 indications are given like in the previous classes we did. Purvam Chhatraha Patham Patati. Paschat Tippanim Likati. So this sentence is converted, it is already done. Chhatraha Patham Patitva Tippanim Karoti. Likati. Tippanim Likati. Now what is the meaning? Chhatraha, you know. Patham Patati. Purvam Chhatraha Patham Patati. First, a student reads his lesson. Paschat, later, he writes a comment. Tippani is comment. Then he adds his comment, his explanation part. So, Chhatraha Patham Patitva Tippanim Likati. After reading a lesson, a student after reading a lesson writes the explanation. So, Tippani, you can also, Tippani means explanation. Second one, Krushakaha Khanati Paschat Sasyam Ropayati. Sasyam Ropayati. Purvam, first Krushakaha, a farmer, Bhumim Kanati. First a farmer digs the ground. A farmer first digs the ground, later Paschat Sasyam Ropayati, he raises crops. Sasya is crop. Ropayati raises. Then he raises crop by way of sowing seeds. That is understood. So Sasyam Ropayati, he raises the crop. First the farmer digs the ground, later he raises the crop. So here how do we connect with this participle here? Krushakaha bhumim khanitva. Krushakaha bhumim khanitva sasyam ropayati. The khanati becomes khanitva after digging, having dug up. A farmer having dug up the ground raises the crop, having dug up, digging, after digging, whichever way you say. Then third one, Acharyaha
Purvam Acharyaha Patham Pathayati
Paschat
Prashnam
Pruchati. Purvam Acharyaha Patham Pathayati. First the teacher teaches his lesson, later he asks a question. Acharyaha Patham Pathayitva Prashnam Pruchati. Acharyaha Patham Pathayitva Prashnam Pruchati. So Pathayati changes into Pathayitva, just like we did in the previous page. Fourth one, Purvam Krishna Ratham Sthapayati Paschat Arjunam Upadishati. This is a sentence based on Bhagavad Gita. Purvam Krishna, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, Ratham Sthapayati. First, Krishna stops the chariot. Later, he instructs Arjuna. Arjunam Upadishati. He instructs Arjuna. So we connect now. We change the Sthapayati into Purvam. Purvam is not necessary. Krishna Ratham Sthapayitva Arjunam Upadishati. Krishna Ratham Sthapayitva Arjunam Upadishati. Fifth one, Arakshaka, Purvam Arakshaka
Dhavati Paschat Choram
Gruhnati. Purvam Arakshaka Dhavati. First, a cop runs. Later, he catches hold of a thief. He catches hold of a thief. Now, Arakshaka Dhavitva. Dhavati becomes Dhavitva. After running, a cop after running catches hold of a thief. So, Choram Gruhnati. So, this is a simple sentence. Arakshaka Dhavitva Choram Gruhnati. A cop after running after the thief, understood, catches him. Next, Kavihi Purvam. Purvam Kavihi Kavyam Likhati. Paschat Prapnoti. Paschat Dhanam Prapnoti. Now, Purvam first, Paschat later, you know that. Purvam Kavihi Kavyam Likhati Dhanam Prapnoti. Paschat. Kavihi Kavyam Likhitva
Dhanam
Prapnoti. Kavihi Kavyam Likhitva. A poet having written poetry gets money. Or a poet gets money after writing his poetry. After writing his poetry means after publishing his poem. So, good poets can earn money. That is there. Next.
Vanaraha phalam khadati paschat dhavati.
Purvam Vanaraha phalam khadati. First, a monkey eats a fruit and then later runs. Vanaraha phalam khaditva dhavati. A monkey after eating a fruit runs. A monkey runs after eating a fruit. Next.
Purvam shishuhu patati paschat rodanam
Karoti. Purvam sishuhu patati paschat rodanam karoti. Sishuhu patitva. Patati becomes patitva. Rodanam karoti. A child cries after having fallen, after falling down. A child cries after falling on the ground, understood. Sishuhu patitva rodanam karoti. Next. Purvam pitamaha kathayati prashnam Purvam pitamaha katham kathayati paschat prashnam pruchati. Pitamaha, grandfather, first narrates a story, then questions his grandson. So, pitamaha katham kathayitva prashnam pruchati. Prashnam pruchati. We have already done such sentence. In the third one is the same. This one and third one is same. Verb has changed. Patayitva, here kathayitva. Then the 10th one. Balika purvam balika nrutyati janan toshayati. Toshayati means pleases. She pleases later. She pleases the men. So, balika nartitva janan toshayati. Balika nartitva. A girl pleases the audience here, janan, after dancing. Balika nartitva janan toshayati. Janan santoshayati. She pleases the men, here men means the audience, after dancing, having danced. So, balika nartitva janan toshayati. This is how the tvanta is used with the verbs in this sense, and where two actions are combined together. One is already done. So, the first action takes this tvanta and the second one remains the same. We have more to read.
Purvam janani snanam karoti पश्चात् पाकं करोति.
This is already done for you. Janani snanam krutva pakam karoti. Mother cooks after taking a bath. Next, Chhatraha Adhyapakam
Pashyati. Paschat Namaskaroti.
Purvam Chhatraha Adhyapakam Pashyati. First, a student sees his teacher. Later, he salutes him. Chhatraha Adhyapakam Društva. So, Pashyati changes to Društva. You can see that. Namaskaroti. He salutes him. Student salutes his master after seeing him, or after seeing his master, a student salutes. Whichever way if you understand, you can translate in your own way. Next, Purvam Yuvakaha
Chitralayam Gacchati. Paschat Chitram Pashyati.
So here a young boy goes to some Chitralayam, means here museum. It could be Chalanachitralayam is not there. Chitralayam, a museum it could be, and goes there and sees a picture there, portrait. So Yuvakaha Chitralayam Gatva Chitram Pashyati. A young man sees a portrait after going to a museum. Next, Purvam Balika Geetam Shrunoti Paschat Nrutyati. First, a girl listens to a music and then dances. Balika Geetam Shrutva Nrutyati. We have done a similar sentence just now. Balika Geetam Shrutva Nrutyati. So a girl dances after listening to the music. Next one. Purvam Balaka
Jananim Smarati. Paschat Rodanam Karoti.
So first boy remembers his mother and then he cries. So this is childish mentality, children's mentality. Whenever young infants, supposing mother goes away, leaving the infant child. So all of a sudden Shishu, it is Shishu Balaka, it's a boy, young boy. So young boy recalling his mother, first he recalls his mother, where is my mother? And then he begins to cry. So something like Balaka Jananim Smrutva. Remembering his mother, a boy remembering his mother cries.
Purvam Tvam Dugdham Pibasi. Paschat Kridasi.
Purvam Tvam Dugdham Pibasi. First you drink milk, then you play. That is this. Tvam Dugdham Pitva. Tvam Dugdham Pitva Kridasi. You will play after drinking milk, or you are going to play after drinking the milk. That is the sense. Next. Purvam Bhaktaha Shishya. Sorry.
Prashnam Pruchhati.
Paschat
Uttaram
Janati. So Shishya, first student first asks a question and then he knows the answer later. So how do we combine this? Shishya Prashnam Pruštva. Shishya Prashnam Pruštva Uttaram Janati. Shishya Prashnam Pruštva Uttaram Janati. So Pruchhati changes to Pruštva here. Pruštva. Next. Purvam Bhaktaha
Devam Namati. Paschat Prarthanam Karoti.
First a devotee salutes God, later he does the worship. So Bhaktaha Devam Natva. Namati becomes Natva. Bhaktaha Devam Natva Prarthanam Karoti. Then Purvam Yuvakaha Durabhyasam Tyajati Sajjanaha Bhavati. First a young man gives up his vice, bad habit, and then he becomes a gentleman. Yuvakaha Durabhyasam Tyaktva. Durabhyasam Tyaktva. After leaving the vice, the bad habit, Sajjanaha Bhavati. He becomes a gentleman, a good man. Balakaha Purvam Balakaha Kridanti. Paschat Gruham Gacchanti. First boys play, later they go home. Balakaha Kriditva. So Kriditva Gruham Gacchanti. So very simple. I don't think any difficulties here, because all these verbs are given back. You can take them and add them. I will just once again read only the verbs, how they change. Chhatrah patam patitva tippanim likati. Krushakah bhumim khanitva sasyam ropayati. Acharyah patam patayitva prashnam pruchati. Krishnah ratham sthapayitva arjunam upadishati. Arakshakah dhavitva choram gruhnati. Kavihi kavyam likhitva dhanam prapnoti. Vanarah phalam khaditva dhavati. Sishuhu patitva rodanam karoti. Pitamaha katham kathayitva prashnam pruchati. Balika nartitva janan toshayati. Janani snanam krutva pakam karoti. Chhatrah adhyapakam društva namaskaroti. Yuvakah chitralayam gatva chitram pashyati. Balika geetam shrutva nrutyati. Balakah jananim smrutva rodanam karoti. Tvam dugdham pitva क्रीडसि शिष्यः प्रश्नं पृष्ट्वा उत्तरं जानाति भक्तः देवं नत्वा प्रार्थनां करोति युवकः दुरभ्यासं त्यक्त्वा सज्जनः भवति बालकाः क्रीडित्वा गृहं गच्छन्ति. So this is how you learn another additional input in Sanskrit grammar, that is how two sentences can be very conveniently clubbed together by means of this tvanta, and more abhyasa, more of these is followed in the following pages. Now 20 more sentences are there, we will go with that. One is done for you. What is the first one? Read. Saha vidyalayam gacchati. So very easily can combine. Saha vidyalayam gatva patam patati. So he studies after going to the school. He studies his lesson after going to the school. So vidyalayam gatva. Gacchati becomes gatva. Now in this page the verbs are not highlighted. You can just see, while reading you can get it. Mostly all are third person singulars only. Ti. Second one, read.
Balika phalam khadati jalam na pibati.
So it changes to Balika phalam khaditva jalam na pibati. A girl does not drink water after eating a fruit. Balika phalam khaditva jalam na pibati. She doesn't drink water after eating a fruit. So Ramesha dugdham pibati shayanam karoti. Ramesha dugdham pitva shayanam karoti. A person by name Ramesha sleeps after drinking milk. Dugdha stands for milk here. Kshiram, dugdham, both are same. Next.
Aham shlokam vadami artham bodhayami.
Aham shlokam vadami artham bodhayami. I read a poem, I understand it, and I understand that it. Aham shlokam uditva. Aham shlokam uditva artham bodhayami. I understand the meaning. Avagacchami. Artham bodhayami. Next. Sa pustakam karoti. So she eats after reading a book. Sa pustakam patitva bhojanam karoti. Patitva. Patati becomes patitva. Next. Aham
karyam karomi
vidyalayam gacchami. Aham karyam krutva vidyalayam gacchami. I go to school after doing some work. So he does maybe some part-time work and then goes to the school. Aham karyam krutva vidyalayam gacchami. Next.
Te chitram pashyanti.
Anandam anubhavanti. Te chitram pashyanti. Here the verb is te. The subject is te. They see a picture and experience happiness and enjoy. So te chitram društva. Pashyanti changes to društva. Now mind you, irrespective of the verb, whether verb is singular, dual, plural, only one way of derivation. Now, for example, te is here. Te means te balaka, whatever it may be. Te chitram pashyanti. They are watching the picture. They are watching the portrait. So, instead of te, if it were a singular, supposing saha chitram pashyati. Okay? Or instead of te saha, you take the personal pronoun we. Vayam chitram pashyamaha anandam anubhavamaha. Supposing the sentence is like that. In all these cases, the tvanta will be the same. Vayam chitram pashyamaha. If it is there, I would convert it. Vayam chitram društva. Te, what is that? Te chitram pashyanti also changes to te chitram društva. Saha chitram pashyati also changes to saha chitram društva. Sa chitram pashyati also changes to sa chitram društva. Društva is the one thing for all these things. A little writing is required now. Te chitram pashyanti. Supposing instead of te pashyanti chitram, you have something like that, sa chitram pashyati. Pashyati. Or instead of sa, say aham. I am there. Aham chitram pashyami. Or even as I said, vayam, we, chitram pashyamaha. Now for all these verbs, only one verb is there. That is, tvanta is only one. You have only this. Verb is the same. Društva. Only one. Te chitram društva. Sa chitram društva. Aham chitram društva. Tvam chitram društva. Even vayam chitram društva. Anywhere you have only one form. That should be understood by you. So društva, irrespective of the verb in singular, dual, plural form, it will be the same for all the persons and all the numbers. That is another additional convenience, beauty of this. So we'll go. What is the next? Eighth one. Bhavantaha shrunvanti chayam pibanti. It's a modern sentence. You all listen to a song and drink tea. Bhavantaha geetam shrutva chayam pibanti. You drink tea after listening to a song. Shrunvanti becomes shrutva, which is there given in the previous page. I think it is there. Yes, it is there. It is very well given in the 279 page. Next.
Vayam dhanam gacchamaha vastuni
Krinimaha. So, vayam dhanam yachamaha dadmaha. Now, like in the previous class, this verb has two forms of derivation. Yachami, dadami, yachamaha, dadmaha, etc. So, we give money and buy things. Vastuni krinimaha. And we purchase items, things. So, we club here, yachamaha, replacing it datva. Vayam dhanam datva vastuni krinimaha. We buy things after giving money. Datva means after giving money. Da datva has come. Datva has come, previous page. Not come. Datva has not come, it looks. Natva, gatva, srutva, natva. Anyway, I will write it. Datva. Yachamaha becomes datva. Dattva. After giving. Or having given. Whichever way you take it. Having given. After giving or having given. Next.
Saha phalani nayati
Jananyai dadati. Janani shabda, that is. Saha, he, phalani nayati, he takes fruits. Jananyai dadati. He takes fruits and gives to his mother. Meaning of the sentence is, he takes fruits and gives to his mother. Saha phalani nitva jananyai dadati. He gives fruits after taking them to his mother. So nayati becomes nitva. Nitva. That is there. Nayati becomes saha phalani nitva jananyai dadati. Now how is janani derived here? Janani is a verb. I think it is going to come. It is a word from the Ikaranta Janani Shabda. Janani, in the fourth case, it becomes Jananyai. Soon we are going to learn these cases. Jananyai, to the mother. So this is the same. Janani, Jananyai. Dadati, Yachati. Either you say Yachati or Dadati, both are same. Next. What's the number? No? 12. 11.
Sanskritam
Jananti Sambhashanam Kuruvanti. Taha, here is a specific pronoun. You have to identify it. Taha means those ladies. Taha Mahilaha, Taha Striyaha, whatever it is. Taha Balikaha, those girls, whatever it is. Taha Sanskritam Jananti. They know Sanskrit. Sambhashanam Kurvanti, and they talk. Te taha Sanskritam Gnatva. Now Jananti becomes Gnatva, which is there. Gnatva has come already. Taha Sanskritam Gnatva Sambhashanam Kurvanti. They talk having known Sanskrit language. So instead of Taha, you can have, as is wrote, Sa Sanskritam Janati. Sa Sanskritam Janati Sambhashanam Karoti. Sa Sanskritam Gnatva. Any number, any person, Gnatva will be replacing. Next.
Saha Durgunam
Tyajati Sajjanaha Bhavati. We have done a similar sentence. Saha Durgunam Tyaktva Sajjanaha Bhavati. He becomes a gentleman, good person, after giving up the vices. Next.
Mahilaha Geetam Gayanti
Pujam Kurvanti. So Mahilaha Geetam Gayanti. Women sing a song and do the worship. Mahilaha Geetam Geetva. Gayanti becomes Geetva. Mahilaha Geetam Geetva Pujam Kurvanti. They do worship. Next. Vaidyaha
Aushadham
Yachanti Dhanam Svikurvanti. So Vaidyaha Aushadham Yachanti. Doctors give medicine and take money. Vaidyaha Aushadham Dattva. Again the same Dattva. What is written on the board after giving. Vaidyaha Aushadham Dattva. After giving the medicine, Dhanam Svikurvanti. They accept money. They take money. 15. Pitamaha
Ramayanam Pathayati Artham Vadati.
Grandfather teaches Ramayana and tells the meaning. Pitamaha Ramayanam Pathayitva Artham Vadati. So Pathayati becomes Pathayitva. 16. Chhatraha
Chintayati Uttaram Likhati.
First student first thinks about and then writes a letter. Chhatraha Chintayitva Uttaram Likhati. Chintayati becomes Chintayitva. 17. Janani,
Puttram tadayati dukham anubhavati.
Mother beating her child experiences, she undergoes suffering or she experiences sorrow. So, Janani Putram Tadayitva. Tadayati becomes Tadayitva. Putram Tadayitva. Dukkham Anubhavati. She undergoes suffering. Next. Krida. Patuhu. Kridati. Padakam Prapnoti. Krida Patu means sports person. A sportsman plays and gets a medal. Padakam means medal. So, Krida Patuhu Kriditva Padakam Prapnoti. A sportsman having played gets a medal. Sportsman gets a medal after playing for his country, whatever it is. Krida Patuhu, please mind it, it's a sports person. Padakam is medal, prize. 19th. Etaha Pujam Kuruvanti Prasadam Svikurvanti. So, Etaha referring to women here, Etaha Balikaha or Mahilaha, these women do the worship and take the blessings, prasada. Now, prasada can be translated in two ways. Prasada means we know in India, after worship in every temple, they give some eatable. Sometimes, most of the times, rice in the form of the rice. We have so many variety of prasadas are there. Prasada is basically an offering made to the deity and then it is distributed to the devotees. So that is called prasada. What is prasada? Any offering made to the deity in the temple and later distributed to the devotees. That is called prasada. So the moment it is offered, it is sanctified. So that is what here. Etaha pujam kurvanti. These women do the worship and make an offering and then prasadam svikurvanti. They accept that blessing in the form of prasada, food. And finally, archakaha devam archati prarthanam karoti. Archaka is a worshipper. A worshipper worships God and prays for the humanity, for the welfare, something like that. Prarthanam karoti. Archakaha devam architva. Devam architva prarthanam karoti. So I do not see any difficulty here, only Dattva is there. And I repeat, fourth sentence on this page, please watch it. Aham slokam vadami becomes uditva. That one verb also you may note it. Uditva. Fourth one becomes uditva. Vadati becomes uditva. This becomes uditva. Having said or having recited. Aham slokam vaditva artham bodhayami. After reciting a poem, I understand the meaning. Uditva. And the remaining are there in the previous page. You may look into that. Now, with this, I think 3-4 pages have been devoted for learning this Tvanta Pratyaya so far. Tva is for the time being stopped here, and the next participle is introduced in the book, that is lep. You can see there, lep, levanta. We call it levanta. This is Big Bang. This the second lep. In English we call the same indeclinable past participle. The first one, Tvanta, and this one, both are indeclinable, they are not derived. They are not derivable as such. So they are very, very useful in learning language. Lep. From this lep, what remains finally is this, only we are left with the one letter yakara. This will be coming into operation. Whereas l and pa will get deleted or deleted. We will see that levanta. And how to use this, the procedure is given here. Now you may see just two pictures are here to introduce this. Balakaha uttishtati devam namati. Like the previous Tvanta, first action, the verb of the first sentence only gets affected here. But derivation is not like the previous one, Tvanta. In Tvanta, Tva is added, Tva, Tva, Tva. Here, Lep, this is a different Lep. What is added? Ya is added. But in addition to that, you have to have a prefix with the verb here. If you closely watch the verb given here, uttishtati. What is the difference between uttishtati and tishtati? See the difference between these two. Uttishtati, there is a prefix here, ut. One additional sound is here, whereas there is no sound here. Tishtati means stands, gets up. Uttishtati, gets up. Tishtati stands, uttishtati gets up. So a prefix, a verb with a prefix plus verb, wherever it comes, there we get this lep. Lep is used only to those verbs which have got prefixes. More will be coming. Now look at down another example. Balakaha gruham pravishati. Okay? Balakaha gruham pravishati. Hastau prakshalayati. Now in this example, what is the verb? Pravishati. Pravishati. And otherwise it is a verb also with vishati. Enters. Now here is a prefix pra. Here is ut. Here is a prefix called ut. Here, ut plus tishtati. This is only tishtati. Vishati, pravishati. Okay? Prefix is there, upasarga. So whenever a verb is with a preposition, whenever a verb is used with a preposition, that verb alone will be derived with lep, this participle. That verb alone will be derived with lep, not with. If there is no preposition, then the tvanta will take place, the previous one. Vishati or tishtati stitva, it becomes stitva. If uttishtati is there, it will not be uttistva. Something else will be there. That is what is there. Now you can watch this. Balakaha uttishtati devam namati becomes balakaha utthaya. There is no stitva here. Tishtati becomes stitva. This becomes utthaya after getting up. Boy, after getting up from his bed, prays to God. Devam namati. Get it? Yes. So, ut is the prefix here. Then next. pra. Balakaha griham pravishati. Hastau prakshati. So balakaha griham pravishya. Griham pravishya means after entering into his house, boy washes off his hands. Griham pravishati astau prakshalayati. Balakaha griham pravishya. After entering home, he washes his hands off. So watch this. Pravishati becoming pravishya. Uttishtati becoming utthaya. We don't use the previous participle here. We use this lyap, and out of this lyap, what is finally coming into the use is the one letter ya which is used. And remember, it is always used with verbs with prepositions. More will be given there. Now, 4 more sentences we'll analyze. Adhyapakaha grantham adhyapayati. Prashnam pruchayati. This sentence becomes Adhyapaka Grantham Adhyapya. Having taught Adhyapya. So where is Lyap here? The last letter Ya. Adhyapya Ya. Prashnam pruchati. Second one, you see, Grahakaha Vastu Swikaroti Dhanam Dadati. So Grahakaha. Grahakaha means a customer. In Sanskrit, customer is called Grahakaha. Then Vastu Swikaroti takes, he buys some item and gives money. Dhanam Dadati. Grahakaha Vastu Swikrutya. These answers are given on the following page in box. So it becomes later Swikrutya. Grahakaha vastu swikrutya. After taking the item, thing, he pays money. Dhanam dadati. So here, swikaroti, where is the preposition? Swi is the preposition there. Swi. So we go to the next one. Acharyaha grantham parishilayati. Adhyapanam karoti. A teacher examines the book and he teaches. So this becomes Acharya Grantham Parishilya. After having examined the book, a teacher or a professor, whoever is, having examined a book, then he teaches. So Parishilayati becomes Parishilya. Having examined, after examining. Fourth sentence, Janani Dwaram Udghatayati. Atithim Satkaroti. Mother opens the door and welcomes the guest. Okay? Welcomes the guest. Now, Janani Dwaram Udghatya. Mother having opened the door welcomes the guest. Having opened the door, mother welcomes the guest. Or after opening the door, mother welcomes the guest. That is the meaning. Udghatayati becomes Udghatya. Likewise, the fifth sentence on the next page. Samaja Sevakaha, a social worker, Dhanam Sangrahnati. He collects money. A social worker collects money. Samaj Sevam Karoti, and then he does social work, service. So Samaj Sevakaha Dhanam Sangrahya, having collected money, a social worker does service. So Sangrahnati becomes Sangrahya. We'll go slowly, it may be somewhat difficult, the beginning. Sixth one, Archakaha Pratimam samsthapayati. Pujam karoti. Worshipper first establishes the image, God's deity. He establishes the deity and then he worships. Pujam karoti. Archakaha Pratimam samsthapya. Having established the idol, the worshipper does the worship. Consecration, what you call consecrating the idol. So seventh one, Bhagini Akashavanim prachalayati Geetam Shrunoti. The sister turns on radio. Prachalayati means tunes on radio. Akashavani means radio here. Akashavani in India means radio. Doordarshan means television. So a sister tunes to the radio and listens to music. Bhagini Akashavanim Prachalya, having tuned on, after switching on the radio, sister listens to music. So this is how it goes off. Are we there? Or still? So we'll stop here. We'll have to go again a little back and then come. We'll do again this lesson. Shubham Bhuyat.